The heart of growth. In the South, the idea of growth is a very prominent one. Crops grow, families grow, and people grow. The recording from the Linguistic Atlas Project was the story of a woman, an African American from Tennessee, who went through a series of events that changed the outcome of her life. Her story is one that many can relate to, one of growing up in the South and growing past the obstacles and struggles many faced. Just as the crops around her grew from year to year, the informant's life was simultaneously enhanced because of the experience she went through, causing her to grow as a person and change for the better. As a sharecropper's daughter, the speaker grew up across the street from her grandmother's farm and had daily chores to attend to like picking cotton and peas from the fields. She commented about when she was growing up that
when we was growing up, we had to work part-time, didn't go to school.
Children nowadays, as the informant mentions, have much more opportunity in their lives because they do not have to do the things that she did as a kid. From an early age, the informant had to learn the true value of a dollar and the importance of hard work because she had to help her family get by. Crops have a hard time starting out, as they must fasten their roots to the earth to capture the water and nutrients, but after this, the plants can begin to grow. The informant began her growth here, as a child, investing her roots where she was groomed to understand what it took to survive in the real world and how to work with what she had to get what she needed. Because of her childhood, the speaker was aware of the strength it took to thrive as an adolescent. At the age of 13, the informant's father passed, and in the same year she was married. This rapid transition forced her to adapt quickly because now she was on her own for the first time, married and living in a new house. With only a few details, the informant tells how her first marriage lasted about 20 years until her husband passed and she was quickly married again. After another 20-year relationship, her second husband passed as well. However, throughout all of this, she accumulated enough money and independence to buy her own house and move there on her own, where she lived during the interviews. In this period, it was uncommon for a black woman to live alone in her own house and in a community such as the one she described.
And it's a real good settlement. And that church down there, that's a small church now, and the stone wrecked and it tore down really small. On a Sunday, you could not get seated because we had a large attendance. And this used to be a real thick community. And we had, school, a law.
Crops must survive through storms, winds, droughts, and rainy seasons to get to optimal picking season, and many are lost along the way. She had gone through a lot in her some 60 years and still seemed rather successful and happy overall, as it takes a lot of strength and courage to go out on one's own in the world. The growth she experienced from married adolescent to widowed matron was a prominent one because she had matured and become a stronger woman through it all. Because of what she went through and because of where she is now, the speaker felt very blessed and cherishes the experience she went through. The speaker emphasized how in her community people were not as grateful for what they had, although it was much more than what she had when she was growing.
But a heap of people don't realize God done blessed us, we got more than we ever had, and we're still crying.
She thinks her neighbors need to look at all what they have rather than what they do not have and appreciate what has been given to them. The informant grew up in a very different time and way than the people around her had, especially as a black woman, and it shows in the person she has become. She has grown into a woman who could understand how to appreciate the things in life and how fortunate she was to have a home, a family, and her health. At the end of a growing season, only the crops that were the strongest and the ones that endured the seasons were left standing. The informant grew to be a strong woman who overcame a lot in her life, could weather the storms, and could appreciate the struggles she had to get through to get where she is now. Inner strength and personal growth are admirable qualities that the informant exemplifies in her story and are vital to a successful and fulfilled life. The story of the South is one of picking oneself up by the straps of their boots and working hard to get what is needed out of the soil and out of life. While the idea of growth is a prominent one, the image of strength is essential. Strength is what defines the South. Strength is what it takes to get what you need, and strength is what it takes to stand up for what you believe in. I believe the South would not be the same without the strength and determination of the people who have come before us and set an example for what is to come. To be weak is a choice, but to be strong takes courage, and it is courage that makes the South so distinctive to the rest of the world, and it is strength of its people that makes it beautiful.